All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so phase A makes complete sense. Newly launched business, congrats, and then just some mindsets that make total sense for an independent business owner. Stay humble, hungry, smart, and appreciative. Good mindsets for anyone to have, let alone a business owner. The 30-day core run is where I get a little bit confused. I imagine that's an educational program or something along the lines of that deals with BWW. Would you be able to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Your interpretation of these things, then I'll come back.
Okay. Sure. So that's probably just an educational program. I don't know very much about. What I was saying earlier was it sounds very much creating successful habits very much just sounds like the compound effect put into action. And then phase B, honoring the partnership. Daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly habits. Kind of hard to define what a yearly habit would be. Maybe an audit is a yearly habit. Not exactly sure about that. Daily and weekly make total sense, right? Because you want to have those good habits for yourself and for your business. Zero-based budget. Not totally sure what that is. Is that launching a business based on no budget? Is that, so a little confused there. Volume standards, I imagine that's just the product you move and what your inventory versus your outgoing is. 90-day core run, gain confidence through developing consistent work ethic. That's, to me, that very much seems like a continuation of 30-day and just making sure that they're not habits, they're lifestyles now, like it talks about in the compound effect. And then using the good 21 days or whatever it was to create habits, turning those habits around and improving on those habits, right? So if it's, I made a habit of running 10 minutes a day, well, now I made a habit of 1 hour in the gym a day, right? So just kind of building those habits. That's how I interpret 90 core run. But applied to business, obviously. And then phase C, consistent results. A little confused here, to be totally honest. Don't really know what MG1 is.
Okay.
But the rest makes sense, right? You're starting the networking part instead of the selling part. In phase C, it seems to be 2 to 5 years of consistency. This is what the compound effect talks about. And then you can just see, obviously, the financial independence and then the different levels depending on how hard you're willing to work. Yeah, so the things I was confused about, just what are these core run programs? What is MG1? And what is zero-based budget? So kind of 3 things that I was wanting clarification on.
Fantastic. Awesome. Okay. Now, let's reverse engineer so that it makes more sense.
Sure.
Okay. Begin with the end in mind. Right. The phase D, actually, you can say that everything you can go from bottom up. Okay. Bottom up, from the bottom to the top, and then go down, and then bottom to the top, go down. That's the sinusoidal wave in the reverse direction. Okay. See, the founder's diamond, $500,000 per year, that is an asset-based income. That means that is the income that you would make whether you work or not. Okay. And of course, that takes about 5 to 7 years on an average for most people. Is there somebody who has done it faster than that? Yeah. I know people who have done it even in 9 months. And a good number of people have done it in 2 to 3 years. But the majority of the people have done in 5 to 10 years. Okay. And if it varies from 9 months to 10 years to go founder's diamond, what is your take on it?
That it could take consistency and hard work would be right? If you're going to get there in 7 years, it's not 7 years of letting the business grow by itself.
Okay. All right. There are several factors involved in it. One of the factors is, what do you know prior to joining the team, right? So if somebody doesn't know anything about the basics of software, now he wants to get into the IT field, and where you have already done 4 years of IT and coming to the software field, that means you have done what that guy had to do. The 4 years of your education, I can't look at you and say, wow, look at this and how fast he's learning the programming, and he's just running with it. It's not even 3 months. Oh my goodness, I can even promote him as a team lead now. Whereas the other guy, struggling even after 1 year, with the software. That means you have the 4 years of a head start with the fundamentals that you already have it. So that's why we also say, life happens, whether it happened prior to you joining the team or after you join the team. Okay, you go through crap, either if not before life, before starting, when you are running the business, right? So that's where you are at right now. If you take a quadrant, X and Y axis, are you in the third quadrant? Are you at the 0? Are you in the first quadrant? If you are in the third quadrant, all negative. Right? From there, you have to gradually get up to the 0. You need to take yourself to the 0 and then move up to the positive. Right? That period would be different for different people. So it is not with the business. It is about what has transpired in your life so far. What is your skill set? What is your mindset? What is your attitude? Right? Those things. Okay. Then the next thing is the skill set that is specific to this business. Okay. And no matter what you know before, you have to unlearn and relearn some of the things. Okay. That takes some time. Then your belief in the business. Sometimes whether your belief is derived from your own analysis, from your own intelligence, the knowledge you acquire, or do you depend on your surroundings to feed you with the belief? Do you depend on your close friend or your family or friend, somebody constantly telling you this does not work? I don't know why you are in it. I know people who have done it, didn't work, they lost the shirt, and oh, this is no longer the thing, this is not a ground floor opportunity, and yeah, it was a thing of the past, and this has been here as if it was a plague or coronavirus that came and gone. People give all kinds of things. Are you one of those guys who would like to have the acceptance from the other people rather than using your own intelligence and logic? Sometimes, even though we are so logical, when it comes to some decisions, we depend on our, the people surrounding us and what they say about it. So all of a sudden we forget our logic and we depend on the emotion, right? And those things will drag you down and put you in a self-doubt all along. Okay. If that is the case, then you're not progressing faster because you're fighting you and you. Am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Maybe they are right. It doesn't work. Look at this. I talked to 4 of them and they said no. Because your belief system is so low. And actually next time when you go talk to the next guy, you hesitate so much talking to that person that even the other person can really feel it, that this is not working for you and is not going to work for them either. Right? That belief system. Right? Then once anything that you want to learn, you have to go through try, fail, adjust. right? And in this process, it takes time for you to develop that skill. Once you develop the skill, it is not how much you know, it is how much you do. It doesn't matter. You may know all about all the things, but if you're not doing the work, you're not going to get the result. Right? So your work ethic. Are you the guy, once in a blue moon, do something? Or you consistently do on a weekly basis, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, what you're supposed to do, right? And because these do have a compound effect. Your habits, your work ethic, all of them have a compound effect. And also, you lose momentum when you do not stay consistent with it. Okay? It's like a workout. That's the best example you can say. Is it okay if I work 30 minutes a day, 3 to 4 days a week? Or can I do 2 hours one time in a week? Or how about the whole day once in a month? Number of hours is the same. Can I get the same result? Right? It's all common sense, we know that. But when it comes to real life, we forget that fact. The same principles apply. But most people, they do a marathon one weekend, in a month, and then they forget about it and they come back. When they do that, your muscle memory is not there. See, when you do consistently 3 to 4 times in a week, 30 minutes, you have a muscle memory.
I've absolutely experienced that. Not only that's a great analogy, by the way, the workout one, right, for that, because I've experienced both sides of that in the health and fitness realm, but I've also experienced both sides of it in the business realm too. Like trying to build a photography business, I very much had the marathon mindset of, okay, it's all set up and I'm just gonna let it sit for a month, and then I didn't promote it or do anything with it, right? And did not even break even on it, that sort of thing, right? But then I've also seen, working at this dating company, the consistent daily grind of it to build it.
Right.
Absolutely. So I've definitely seen both sides.
Social media.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you want to be an influencer, people must see you on a consistent basis. You may have a greatest post, but once in a while, great post, but you know what? They don't remember you.
Right. You're not on their mind.
Right. Exactly. Right. The same thing. So those things. So, and then that work ethic, and on the consistent basis, a little bit every day. That's why the habits are very important, right? Success habits. Right? And how much you do also matters. It's like, reps, oh, can I do 8 reps, 10 reps, or 12 reps? Or how much weight should I do? People always mess up on those things, right? Can I do a lot of weight and less reps? Should I focus on the form than the weight? Right? It's not how much weight that you do in the initial stages of building the things. Form is more important.
Right.
Consistency is more important, right? Otherwise, you're going to break.
Absolutely. And that applied to, at least to this business, was what you were talking about last meeting with direct selling and then moving to marketing, with building the pyramid, getting that good base and then moving. So yeah, I can absolutely see that applied here.
Right. So we need to remember those principles. Okay. It's the same. Okay. So certain amount of certain intensity of work that we do, okay, per week, that builds up. Okay. And the other thing is, you are not just working in a solo mode. Remember, you are building a team, and that team that you're building is based on a duplication. You want other people to duplicate what you're doing. Basically, you are being an influencer for the people that you bring in. You are the one who brought them in. That means you have the first level of credibility. First of all, the friendship, more than the credibility, the friendship that you have with them. Right? So most of them, like kids, they do whatever the mom and dad do, or their best friend do, right? They don't look at others. Okay. Even though you have other wonderful people around you, you don't look up to them. You just look up to your best friend that you depended on when you came in. So if that best friend or that mom and dad is not doing the right things, they're confused. So in a way, they keep telling you, this is what I need to do, and this guy is not doing this. So should I do or shouldn't I do? Most people cannot go beyond and say, okay, this guy is not doing the right, but he opened the door for me. Okay, let me look up to the other guy who is very successful and let me follow what he says, him as an example. But unfortunately, people don't do that. They look at the guy immediately, the guy who brought him into the business. Okay. So because you are in a duplication business, you do and others copy you. People don't do what you say. People do what you do. It's a funny thing, right? It's nice. One time, my mentor did something, he asked, raise your hand, put your finger up, just do this with me. Okay. And then scratch, 2, 3, okay. And then guess what, and put your finger on your chin. You already know the story. So
I knew there was going to be a trick, but yeah, no, I could totally see that, because I hesitated for a second. I was like, oh, wait.
Right? So people don't do what you say, they do what you do, right? They copy, monkey see, monkey do.
Right.
So, you want to set an example. If you really want to grow a bigger team, you want to set an example. Otherwise, the people who come into the team, some people, this is what it is, they work so hard to get people in. But they complain that, oh, the people who got in and got out. If this is how the business is going to be, how am I going to build this business? This will never work, man. He said, why did they got out? Because they don't have the right example, immediate right example for them to follow. They lost their hope.
Absolutely. And that's the ownership part of it, the figure it out mindset of, okay, what am I doing that's not making this not work? Because I could go blame the higher business model or whatever, but math doesn't lie. So what am I doing that? Right. That's the ownership mindset, I think.
Yeah. That's why, so your example, right? So when people come in, the duplication, they duplicate you, they see you as an example, and whatever you taught them, they are going to do the same thing with their team members. And because you were a role model, they keep talking about you with them as a role model. Then guess what? Them edifying you is a natural process. It is not a marketing technique. Right?
Okay, sure.
Some people say, "Oh, you need to talk about me with your team." Well, excuse me, I should talk about you with my team. Yeah, if you talk about good things about me with your team, then they would listen to me. I understand at a very beginning when they don't know anything about it. I understand that. Okay. But after some time, I don't think so. I should be naturally talking about you, not making it as an agenda to talk about you because of the influence that you have on me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that means that my day-to-day activities should influence you. Right. When that means you become edifiable. That is the thing, edifiable. right? People love to edify you. They would like to make you a hero because you are a hero, not just make you a hero, right? Because people don't come and watch a game. People come and watch their hero playing the game.
Yeah, that's very true.
Right? So no
There's a
hero,
reason.
no
There's a
game.
reason the quarterback's the highest paid, not just because he's the decision maker, but because he's the idol of the team.
Exactly. Right? No hero, no game.
Mhm.
Right? So depending on how smart you are, sometimes you make a hero, sometimes you follow a hero. I hope you're lucky enough to follow a hero.
Mhm.
That's one of the. So when they don't have that common sense, or when people don't have the enough patience to wait for the right people to show up in their team, they lose the confidence in themselves because they never understood the principles of the business at the very core level. When somebody says business is not working, oh, how long it is going to be if this is like this? If they're asking those fundamental questions, means they never understood the very core of the business. Right? See, Thomas Alva Edison never said how long it is going to be if this is how it is going to be. 9,000 experiments gone, I still did not find the light bulb. No, he knew that I'm for sure there is going to be a light bulb I'm going to invent. No question of that. Means, number one, he understands the principles of conduction of electricity through a wire, through the resistance, heating up of the element, emission of the light by the heating. And the only thing is, now I don't know how to protect this filament from getting burned out. Why this oxygen, understand that this oxygen that is burning it out. There's nothing wrong with the filament. Okay. And then finally figuring out that I need to create a protective environment. And at the same time, that protective environment should be good enough that the light should pass through and it should not burn out with the light that is emitted. Okay. And how much intensity. Every one of them is a different variable in the process. Right? He knew that it is possibility. Only thing is, he need to figure out different, variables of the whole process. Right? Same thing in building this up also. Right? And some people don't have that patience. Oh, it's not working. Well, it's not working for you or not working for anybody. Right? And some people argue, well, it's not working for many. Yes, it is working for few, but not for many.
But how many are the heroes, right? How many are the ones that succeed to the level which you desire to succeed to, right? And are you putting in that same amount of effort to actually figure it out?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't base a model of success off of a failure. That would make no sense. You need your success model to actually be successful, and then you need to look at the realistic work for that. Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people, they say that it's a common sense. Say, look at this thing, how many people are successful? If, not everybody is successful means it does not work. No, reason the other way around. Why are the people who are successful became successful? If you duplicate what they did, then you can have the same success.
Yep, absolutely.
If you duplicate the other guy, you will have the same failure. Right? But people like to take the easy path. That is a path of least resistance.
And the least resistance leads to failure. Absolutely.
That's why they love to take the example of a failure, and they are in abundance. Failures are always in abundance. Same thing. The number of poor people are in abundance. Right? They want to be rich, but they want to follow the example of a poor. Right? See, I understand if you don't have an example of a rich, you don't even know what you need to do. See, for many people, that is one problem. If I know what the rich do to become successful, I would love to do the same thing so that I can make money. It's just like the guys, what? I want to know what do these gamblers, successful gamblers do to win so that I can do the pattern the same way. Same thing. People are, oh, I wish I'm born in a rich family, or I wish I can hang out with a rich guy so that I can learn.
Yeah. If only I had this thing, then I would be,
Right.
is a straight shot to hell. It's never
The
going to
funny
help
part
anyone.
is, I bring them into the system. Now I have several hundred multi-millionaires right here surround themselves. And I said, they are telling you this is what they did. I don't know what makes them not believe it. Either because
I don't
they make
have
it
them
so
in
simple.
person. I don't have
What
them
is
in
it?
person. So how could I learn? Yeah. There's always something new. Some new excuse will always happen.
Yeah,
Right. So why would the next excuse stop you? If the first one didn't stop you and you found the solution for that, why would the next one stop you?
right. The moment the so-called rich guy, it is like, it's like a sour apple, right? It's always sweet. When you look at the rich guy, I wish I have access to that. When the rich guy is accessible to you and he is willing to teach you, coach you, and provide you the education, because it is now he's available and it is cheap, affordable for you, because they made it affordable to you, all of a sudden it becomes so cheap for you. So you respect the rich people only if they are unaffordable.
That says a little bit more about your own self-worth than it does the worth of what you were trying to get, I think.
Right?
Yeah.
The moment
Clearly.
it becomes affordable, you think that, oh, there must be something in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe he's trying to get rich off of me.
Yeah, I'm not worth his time, so why would he help me?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lack of self-worth for sure.
Right. That is the path a lot of people take, the mediocre people. That's why that leads them to inaction finally. Lack of belief, lack of faith in themselves, and finally leading to inaction and the failure and get out. Now they just want to prove it to the rest of the world that it is not them, it is the system, or it is the guys, or the company, or the products, or something, or the society. I am excited, but nobody else is, man. Yeah, it's a good company, it's a good product, man, but nobody want to buy, man. If it is a good company, it's a good product, why nobody wants to buy? Are you telling me that no customers are so dumb that they really don't value the good product?
Right.
So you don't, do you expect the customers to just walk into and fall in your lap and say, "What? Please give me your product"?
Everyone wants to buy, but no one wants to sell. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how great your product is. It is not the product. It is the marketer. You can have a greatest product. You can be failure. There is another guy, the same product, the way he packages it together, he adds that emotional element and finally make the customer see the benefit of the product. And the people buy that same product for double the price. How come? Well, that is the marketing. You need to understand people. Even the greatest thing that is such a beneficial thing for the people, but if they don't understand the benefit of that product, they're not going to buy it. So instead of complaining that people are not getting influenced by you, people are not coming and doing this business or not buying the products from you, and blaming it on the people or the products or the business or the model, why don't you think that, what is that I need to improvise? That is called, personal development, right? That means, how am I delivering my message? What can I change? What can I improvise so that I deliver a message in such a way that other people want to listen to me? Or, they get influenced by what I say, right? But seldom people do that. And they fail and they blame. And they love to blame somebody else. Okay? All those reasons why it takes longer. Okay? Good. And then, see, Founders Diamond is an asset-based income. That means it is not an effort-based income, it is an asset-based income. This guy has developed at least 6 assets.
Okay.
Assets.
Six Q12 platinums, essentially.
That's right. That's a Founders Diamond.
Got it.
Okay. Founder Emerald is a 3 Q12 platinums. Okay, that is $150,000 to $200,000 per year, and that's also asset-based income. From those 3 assets, you don't have to worry about it. The money keeps coming. Okay, so I am an Emerald. Okay, I have 3 such assets. Under those 3 assets, I have 20 assets. In Australia, I have another 15 assets in North America. So I have more than 35 people in those 3 organizations, and each one of them at Q12 platinum and above. So when you have 35 people who are Q12 platinum and above in 3 organizations, and that means that many people who are experts in the business, do I really have to worry about that organizations? They're experts. It is just like going and asking the director, do you need some help?
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
All that they want is a pat on the back, and then so,
Or a quick, hey, did you ever deal with this problem? Yes, this is what I did. Okay,
exactly.
cool, thank you. Right. It's
right.
not that, and if they got to Q12 platinum, they've got the figure it out mentality. They've got what it takes to solve that problem, probably, as it is. So you can be there to help, but you're not solving any problems for them.
Exactly. All that they need is a counseling, not the actual physical work.
Sure. And I'm sure you have a great relationship with all 35. I'm sure it's not a boss employee relationship where they dread talking to you or you don't want to talk to them. I'm sure it's much more friendly than that.
Right.
So that can count as work.
Right. But look at this thing. $150,000 to $200,000 per year. That is one of the top class software professional.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
A VP, director, CFO level, CIO level kind of income. Right. But if you look at the CIO, CFO, and all those guys, they own the company in a way. They work. They are the first people in the office to come in and the last people to get out. And then they carry the laptop and cell phone, everything. They're round the clock there because they are the owners.
They're very high paid employees.
High paid employees at the same time, no life.
Right. Yeah, they're still employees at that point.
They can be kicked out.
Yep.
They're replaceable. Right. Whereas the founder's Emerald, it is his business and these are his assets, and this income is not effort-based income, it's asset-based income. And this is not a retirement. You are retired, but your income is not a retirement income. Okay, it's a full-fledged income, and that keeps growing because it's a dynamic asset, not a static asset, not a depreciable asset.
Sure.
Okay, that's what. And then if you go to the Q12 Ruby, okay, this is an effort-based income. Q12 Ruby and Q12 Platinums are effort-based incomes. They are not asset-based incomes. Okay, that means you are the expert. It's almost like a small business owner, an expert, a consultant running the business with whose help the whole organization is running.
Sure, you are working as if you were a highly paid sales recruiter.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay, and your goal is to build assets so that you can be founder's Emerald, right?
Sure, your goal is to not be stagnant, obviously. Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
Okay. But at the same time, at the founder's Emerald level, for you to go to founder's Diamond, you are building organizations on the side. So that means even though you are receiving an asset-based income from the 3 organizations that you have, the side organization that you are building are effort-based.
Yeah, you're not a Q12 Platinum or you're not a Q12 Ruby in that specific organization.
That's
right. You may be an Emerald in the US, you're not an Emerald in Australia yet, sort of thing. Yeah.
Right.
Understood.
Right. So I am the expert for those people. They come to me to learn. So I put effort in there without worrying about these other organizations. It goes on with or without me. So I am building additional income with my additional effort on the side. But if you don't want to, it's okay. You don't have to.
Right, because you have that asset.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, are you satisfied with that asset?
Exactly. So different people are satisfied at different levels. Okay, that's what it is. So Q12 Ruby is actually double the platinum. Okay.
Double the what? It's not double the income.
Not double the income, double the volume.
Okay.
Now Q12 Platinum, for example, 7,500 points or 25%, 12 out of 12 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Q12 Ruby is 31% or 15,000 points every month for all 12 months.
Sure. So you it's the difference between you said 15,000 versus 7,500.
Right.
Right. Okay. So it's the difference between like 45 grand moved in product and half of that. Sure.
Right. So Ruby is 45 grand a month volume. You know, a platinum is around 22,000 dollars per month volume, right? You know, but the thing is, in a Q12 Ruby, you can, with the structure, the organization with which you went platinum, you may go Q12 Ruby with the same organization without having an extra effort. Okay. So for example, if you become a Q12 Platinum with 6 legs, okay, and if each leg, let's say for example, at 1,500 points, 1,500 times 6 is 9,000 points. So you're a Platinum. Right. But if each one of these 1,500s, they go 2,500. 6 times 2,500 is 15,000.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't have to go to that extra point level by their direct selling. It was by adding more legs to those to your legs.
Yeah, whatever they have to do. It could be a combination of things. That
right, it's the branches.
You are not adding any extra, but you're still helping them to grow.
Sure.
Those 6 legs. Basically, you're helping each one of those legs a double.
Mm-hmm.
Then you are double. I know. And whereas, say for example, if that leg is a 1,500 points, they are receiving a performance bonus of 15%, while you are receiving a 25% performance bonus. That means the difference is 25 minus 15, 10%. So you're getting 10% on the $23,000 of revenue. That is $2,300 per month income. Straight performance bonus. I'm not including other bonuses.
Sure.
But if they go 2,500 points, they are at 18%. Whereas you are at 31%. 31 minus 18, that is a 13%. But 13%
that's your take home
on $45,000.
Yeah.
Okay. It is more than double the income.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just giving the math. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do appreciate that.
Not happen that way.
Right.
Okay. So that's why this variable income, $80,000 to $100,000, is variable. Depending on the number of legs that you have and at what level each leg is, that's why it's a variable income, right? 80 to 100,000 Q12 Ruby. So it takes 2 to 3 years. Okay, Q12 Platinum is 60,000 per year. It takes 1 to 2 years from phase C. It's not 1 to 2 years from the time that you launch your business. It is the time that you graduate from phase C level.
Okay, time and yeah. Okay.
Okay, that means you are an expert in doing the basics.
Yeah, it's time and grade, not time and service.
Right. Okay, that's what it is.
Got it.
Okay. So you cannot go diamond unless you go platinum.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, but
now,
can you go platinum and then within 6 months you can go diamond? Yeah. Okay. Depending on how fast you grow and how fast the legs grow,
okay.
Things do happen. Okay. But those are exceptions. Okay.
Sure. So that when we're talking about that 5 to 7 for diamond, That's
Say,
5 to 7 from phase C.
yeah, from phase C, 5 to 7 years is a foundation.
Okay. Okay. So it's not 5 to 7 from Emerald and then
No,
3 to 4 from, okay.
no. That's why the arrow is from here.
Yeah, no, I got that. It's just, yeah, the time and grade thing messed me up a little bit.
That's
Got
right.
it.
Okay. Now, so our goal is to become an expert Q12 Platinum. And then once you become a Q12 Platinum, the rest of the business is completely in your control because you know the fundamentals, how fast you grow, how much you want to do, and your work ethic is totally up to you, boss.
Sure.
Okay. But getting to Q12 Platinum, yes, you depend on your senior partners a lot because you are learning, right? So, in order
Yeah,
to
you're
become
learning how to be a good mentor. Definitely.
right. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, to do that, and then this is what it is. You need to get to a level, always go from the bottom to the top. You need to get to an expertise level where you would be able to launch at least to 2 new partners on a monthly basis. You are so good, you can easily launch 2 new partners a month. Of course, it takes work. It is not a magic. It is not just a function of a skill set. It is a function of a skill set and work ethic and attitude and character.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, is that, what level of partner is that? Right? Are they moving 1,500 points or are they moving, 300
not
points?
necessarily,
No, but it's just two quality partners is all that it's with.
Yeah.
Partners with potential.
Legitimate partners.
What was that?
Not somebody you just go to your sister and say, "Hey, what do you got to lose? Sign up here."
Yeah. It's dependable.
Don't worry, just sign this application.
Yeah, dependable partner, sure.
Right. Now, somebody who is really a business owner and wanting to build a business and willing to honor the partnership.
Yeah, a partner. Okay, understood.
Right? So,
okay,
2 new partners on a monthly basis. To get to that level, most people, if you really sincerely work, it takes anywhere from 6 to 9 months.
To
From the
be
time
at
that
that,
you got launched.
Sure. To be at that 2 new partners.
Congratulations to launching 2 new partners on a monthly basis.
Got it.
It takes from 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
If you really sincerely work.
Yeah.
Do people do that? Sincere people do get there, but other people, do they get there? Maybe not. So
sure. Yeah, marathoners don't get there. Right. Definitely.
Okay. And so that's what it is. So basically, these are network results. But launching 2 new partners also depends upon how many meetings that you are doing per week. What is your work ethic? How can you launch 2 new partners on a monthly basis? Are you doing at least 2 to 3 meet and greets per week? MG1 means meet and greet.
Yeah, meet and greet 1. Right. So this is meet and greet 5. Sure. Yeah.
Right? But most people, when you look at it 2 to 3, they look at 2, not 3.
Yeah, of course. That's just how that's how the human brain works. Okay, what's the minimum I have to do? Yeah.
Right? What is the minimum I can do and can still pass?
Right. But that's to follow this plan exactly, sticking to a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 2 years, right? If you want to perform better than 1 or 2 years to platinum, right, then it's more than 3. If you want to perform worse than 2 years, then it's less than 2. Yeah. Right. Sure,
so
it's all
when
variable.
You do the lowest, that means you have an employee mentality.
You're a what now?
Are like that. What is that minimum I need to do so that I don't get fired?
Yeah. I've definitely been there. Yeah.
The business owner say, well, what is it I can do so that I want to finish it off, man?
Yeah.
Right? So 1 means first meeting. You may have 78 meetings, but I'm not counting those meetings. I'm counting how many first meetings that you have in a week.
Sure, because you could get to meeting 5 and realize that, oh, this person either does not like this opportunity or is not fit for this because they're just not a hard worker or not consistent or something like that. Right. But if you were able to find that out on meet and greet 1, save you time and you can move that volume of people.
Right.
Sure.
MG1 is not only a filtering, it is also a statistical number. See, you don't have a control on the total outcome. You have the control on your work ethic, but you don't have the control on the outcome.
Yeah, so you can control the volume at the top of the filter. You can't control how it filters down.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
So
what's funny is Daniel and I see that in the dating thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Daniel and I see that in the dating thing all the time. Is you can control on the number of first dates you go on. You can't control that you're going to like this person or this person or this person. Exactly. But yeah.
Right.
So you just try to maximize that. Yeah, maximize the first date. You maximize meet and greet one. It's the same logic.
Right. So this is the minimum work ethic in order to get this kind of results and to get this kind of things. 2 to 3 MG1s per week.
Yeah.
Okay? And this not only just working, but the thing is, don't forget the previous phase, which is, you cannot say, I'm doing a great abs, but I'm not doing the stretches. I'm doing the great leg workout, but I'm not doing the cardio at all.
Sure.
Everything is a package deal, right? So, when you are working on your networking, don't forget honoring the partnership, which is a solid phase B. This is a phase B. That means you are doing everything that is there in phase B, consolidated it. Okay, you're not a yo-yo. You're going back and forth. You keep giving the excuses. So, I had this job challenge. Oh, I had this extra expense. Oh, I had to do this thing. That's why I cannot do it. No, you can either make an excuse or make money. You cannot do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's a Newton's law.
Yeah, object in motion stays in motion for sure. A good business owner stays in motion.
Right. A lot of people lose the business because they don't understand that they have to have both the oars need to be working at the same speed. Otherwise their boat will be making circles. Sometimes some people make a small circle, some people make big circles, but a circle. When you make a big circle, you feel like, oh yeah, I'm traveling in the lake. No, you came to the same point an hour later.
Yeah.
That's much more hurtful. Right? So you got to do, if you want to progress, you got to use both the oars of your boat, right? So phase B and phase C, both of them are equally important for growth. Okay, that's one. Well, now let's see what is a solid phase B. Okay, here's the thing. Volume standards. Volume standard is not a rule. It is a suggestion. In the sense, what is your company policy? Every company has a policy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Google's policy is a flex hours. You can come anytime, you can leave anytime, as long as your work is done.
Yeah, as long as you get it done. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
But if you're working in a manufacturing industry, they say, no, you need to show up at the thing, at 6 in the morning, and you have to be there until 3 in the morning, and you only have 30 minutes break for the lunch, 10 minutes break for the coffee. That's it automatically.
Yeah.
You seen this movie, Charlie Chaplin's City Lights?
I have not. No.
Old movie.
Yeah.
It's funny the way he makes fun of all those things. The mechanization and all that. The machines feed him and everything. And how he goes into the machine. It's so fun. So that's what it is. In a continuous manufacturing, automobile industry or manufacturing or something, where there is certain time limit. See, there is a policy, right? And also certain companies, they say, hey, you can bring the kid. We have a daycare in the office, and you can leave the kid, and you don't even have to pay for it. It's all part of the perks.
Right.
Some companies say, well, heck, you do whatever you want. You need to figure out your babysitting, but you just need to show up. Right? It's a policy. Okay. But when you take the company policy, can the owner break the policy? I am the owner. I will
can
do
the
whatever
what
I
bring
want.
the policy?
Company policy. Can the company owner break the policy? Is it what?
Oh, can the owner?
For
No.
the employees, not for the owner.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. You got to hold the standard that you hold everybody else to. You got to hold a better standard, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But is it necessary to have a standard?
Um, I would say yes. A lot of people will say no, but I think yes.
Right?
Yeah,
There
I
should be a
say yes.
benchmark, right? So
Yeah,
that
because
you
otherwise,
shoot
how do
for it.
people? It's just a clear communication thing. It's not a
Exactly.
crack the whip thing. It's a communication thing in my head.
Right.
But so many people see it as the crack the whip thing, and then they say, no, you don't need that.
The standards would help people. They know what to shoot for, how
Mhm.
high they can rise, what is the minimum that they got to do. If that bar is not there, then you don't even know anything that you shoot for is a goal.
Mhm.
Right? There's no goal post. Anything, whatever you shoot for is a goal, right? And also standards bring the uniformity in the team, and also that makes the performance comparison easy. Okay, why certain people are growing, why some people are not growing, and what kind of standards that they have. You look at it, and standards also make things easy to understand. Say, for example, have you ever traveled internationally?
Yeah.
Okay, which country did you go to?
Oh, I've been to like Peru, Mexico, Europe, some of Europe at least.
Okay, have you ever? I don't know about Mexico. In Mexico, is it the same electrical system?
No, it's not. No. Do you mean the 12 volt,
Yeah.
2-pin and ground? No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's like it's 2 pins and ground electrically, but it's a different adapter. I don't know what it is.
Right. See, then you need to take an adapter with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If something breaks, then you are in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you're putting closed pins in or closed wire in the thing.
Another thing, you have 3 pins in the US, and maybe in many other countries, you don't even have 3 pins. You just have 2 pins,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it doesn't even go in.
Right.
No, in some places, say in the US, it is 220 volts or 110 volts, and you go to India, it's 220 volts.
Right. Yeah. So all your appliances are gonna be fried.
Yeah. So you need to have a step-down transformer.
Yep.
Right. So that becomes such a pain, to find something to make it work. Okay. Let's say you brought something from Mexico. It is so cheap. I said, okay, wow, it's the same thing, man. Let me bring it. And all of a sudden something broke down and you want to go to Home Depot, go get a part. And whereas it is very close to this one, but it is in centimeters, whereas this is in inches. It is close to 5/8 of an inch, but it is not.
Right.
Because the tolerance levels are different.
Yeah, exactly. Hence why I had to buy new tools when I sold my Honda and bought my Jeep. Yeah, definitely. And you gotta change.
Standardization makes it so easy. Standardization makes even the third party to create a tool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, there are so many, guys, who make products that are similar to Apple products because it's a standardized. Otherwise, if Apple keep changing it, there is no standard. Other people cannot even make it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you want to create a maintenance-free and easy to grow, you need to have a standard.
And that standard deals with the volume that you're moving.
In this case, we're talking about the volume standards, but there are many other standards that you want to follow.
Sure, a dress code
is the one that we're talking here.
Definitely.
Okay. So that volume standard it is not a hard and fast rule. It is a suggested value, a benchmark you want to hit, the minimum benchmark that you want to hit in performing your business, but nobody is going to throw you out of the business if you don't do it. But we recognize the people who hit those standards.
And now, okay, so now what is yours is my question.
Yeah,
right?
That's good. Say, for example, the moment you say volume, what do you think of volume as? What is the meaning of a volume?
Monthly sales is what I think of.
Right? Monthly sales. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That means you cannot have a business without sales. Can you?
Sure. No.
Whether it's a product or
somewhere,
service, it is a
yeah,
service.
yeah. I forget who talks about it in the audio, but if there's no product, that's a pyramid scheme. I think it was Dan, but yeah.
Okay. Right. So there is no money.
Mhm.
And if you are still making money, it's a pyramid scheme.
Yep.
Okay. So what are those minimum standards I want to strive to achieve? That is the volume standard. That volume standard, see, there are 3 standards in volume. One
Okay.
is a basic level. Okay. What we call it, FDD. Or yeah, that's what it's called. Basic standard is FDD. First day ditto. Right. That means no matter what, you have your personal orders placed on the first day of the month. It doesn't matter how much, but your personal shopping is done on the first day of the month. Volume, how much is not a concern, but the fact that you have a discipline to place your orders on the first day of the month is the basic standard.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The discipline.
Okay.
The good habit of.
Yeah. The second one is you operate at the core level, core standard, right? Core qualifier, basic standard qualifier, and the core qualifier. Core qualifier is somebody who does at least $450 worth of business on the first day of the month. Okay, that's what the example that we show, $450, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it could be retail and personal, or it could be simply personal. Okay, but usually it's a combination of things. Your goal is to create $450. Actually, we don't want to talk in terms of the dollar value. We want to talk in terms of the point value.
Yeah, sure. 150 points on the first day.
Right. That is the basic standard. Okay. Then there is a leadership qualifier standard, the third level. That is 300 points by the end of the month.
Okay.
Your personal sales and purchases together is 300 points by the end of the month. It is not the first day of the month. It is by the end of the month.
Right, but they're not. Yeah, they're not separable. Right, well, one stacks on top of the other.
Well, unless you should be qualified at least at the basic level for you to be recognized as a leadership level.
Okay, so you're not saying 150 on the first day, 150 for the remaining 29 days.
Yes.
Right. That's a very one-sided. Yeah. Okay. So you could do, you may not be core, but you might be leadership.
Right.
Okay. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah. You can do 50 points on the first day of the month, but you can finish the 250 points the rest of the month. So you
and make the 300. Yeah. Okay. That's what I was trying to understand. Makes sense.
Yeah. You cannot say I did 0 on the first day of the month, but I did 300 throughout the month. Then that means, there's the basic flaw in that thing is, you have not learned the fiscal discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that you are a leader, but leaders know how to budget their time and their money and their resources.
Sure. It's consistency from yourself, and it's consistency from what you're expecting from your downline. Sure.
Right. So that's what it is.
Makes sense.
So those are the 3 volume standards. Okay. So you start with, basic, if you're financially not so sound, but most people start with the CQ level. Okay. That's the volume standard. The next is a zero-based budget. That means if you really want to succeed in life, you must learn how to manage your finances.
Yep.
Okay. If you have not done budgeting, start. Because you are the CEO of your own company. Don't tell me that you want to run your business without a budget. Every business needs to have a budget. Okay. What is a budget? Now, in your opinion, how do you define a budget?
Profit and loss statement for me. Yeah, that would be a personal profit and loss. So a personal income and expense statement. right? And then for a budget, it would be profit and loss.
Okay. Well,
For
let
business.
me give you an alternate definition. Probably
Okay.
make much more sense to you. Budget is nothing but a plan for your money.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely
plan.
true. It's a generalization, but yeah.
A project need to have a plan. You know, for a spending also, you need to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before you spend, you need to look at your incomes.
Oh, okay.
You cannot spend what you don't have.
Yeah, it's forward looking, right? It's not, oh, we ended up spending this, put that on the profit and loss. Oh, we ended up making this, put that on the profit and loss. Yeah, it's not a record, it's a plan.
Exactly. It's not actuals.
Yeah.
Right. So every month before the month starts, you start with a zero-based budget. Do you know the meaning of a zero-based budget?
I don't. My gut tells me that you break even on the month, but that wouldn't make sense.
That's exactly right.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Basically, you know, zero-based budget is your income minus expenses should be equal to zero. That's it. Income minus expenses should be zero. That means you cannot spend more than what you have. Okay. And you cannot say that, you know, I have more money than what I can spend. It is lying around doing nothing. You cannot say that also. So what do you mean? I have to spend the money? No, you need to allocate the money.
Yeah, it's the velocity of money.
And the allocation is basically, you need to have a name for that money. You cannot have a money lying around there without a name on it. That means
Absolutely.
If it is lying around there, you should go into an emergency fund or into savings, into an investment, you know.
Yeah, the money should be making
has a
money.
name.
Yeah.
Right. If it has no name, then you may waste that money unscrupulously.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Zero-based budget is nothing but a complete plan where every dollar that you have is spent with an intention, with a purpose, with a plan.
Sure, and some might go into savings, but that's still an expense you're counting, for sure.
It is, yeah, because it's allocated. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because it has a name on it, as you were talking. Yeah, it has a name on it.
Savings account, checking account, you know, expense account.
Yeah.
Right. Debt account. It is an account.
Absolutely.
Right. But how do you spend it? Okay. There's a whole class on that thing. You know, will help you later. You know, there are templates on how you do that. Okay. There are two types of budgeting that you do. What we recommend is a zero-based budget, but there is another budgeting called pay yourself first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that with startups.
Okay. Pay yourself first is basically zero-based budget. You need to figure out every expense to the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say, "Oh, that's too tedious to me. Oh, I can't. I'm a big picture guy. I cannot get to that lower level details. I cannot track things like that and all." It's okay. Then follow what is called pay yourself first. What do you mean? That means, see, there are three types of expenses. One is a need. So actually two expenses. One is a need, other one is a want. Need and want. Okay. How do you allocate funds? Need, there are two types of needs. One is an immediate need, other one is a future need.
Sure.
In want, there are two types of wants. One is that is causing some kind of irritation, some kind of, if you have it, it makes your life easier. And you don't have to have it for sure. It's not like that if you don't have it, you cannot survive. But if you have it, it can increase your productivity. It's good to have it.
Right.
But there is another want. It is not at all necessary. It is simply a luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are two types of wants.
Right. It sounds like Eisenhower's productivity graph applied to expenses. Mm-hmm. Quite honestly.
Right. Like a kind of a cost benefit, right? Kind of thing. Right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So here, the principle in zero-based budget or any budgeting is, it's called a 50-20-30 is the rule. 50-20-30. That means 50% of the net income, not the gross income, net income, after tax income. 50% should go to basic needs that you need to have right now for survival. Survival needs, your apartment rent, your utility bills. You cannot survive without it, right? Or it could be something like the minimum payments on your credit card. Otherwise, you are getting into trouble. Your credit rating is going to go bad.
Right.
Right. Things like that, basic, important, and urgent. Right. Then there is a second type of need, which is futuristic. You are preparing for your future, for the rainy day. Your savings, your investments.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All those things go into the second needs. 20% of your income should go into the future.
And then 30% goes into the irritating wants.
Wants. 30%. Wants has more than the savings.
Yeah,
But because want is for the future, but the savings, that need is for the future. But even though it is small, if you stick to the plan, if you stay consistent, it has a compound effect.
Sure, and the reason that the irritating wants is 30 instead of 20 is because that velocity of money idea where, okay, I can accelerate now, I'm going to accelerate now.
Right.
Sure.
Right. So if you stick to the plan, and the big question is, do you know the difference between a need and want? Sometimes there are some wants look like a need.
I think there's a lot of wants that look like a need. I think this desk was a want that looks like a need.
Right.
Yeah.
So having that discrimination, make sure you have that counseling, make sure, and you ask the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, the 4 questions that I generally ask is about, number 1, is it important? Necessity that without it, you cannot function. Next thing is, how important it is, is it urgent or is it it's okay for later? If it is important and urgent, priority 1, 50%. If it is important but not urgent, then it is priority 2, 20%. It is not important, you can still survive, but you feel urgent. That's priority number 3, want. It is not important and not urgent, absolutely not necessary, but it's like a status symbol, just want to show off, nice to have, and all those things. It is a priority number 4. When do you do it? Never.
Yeah.
Okay. A Ferrari for a Jeff Bezos could be a priority number 3. A Honda Accord for a normal employee is priority number 4.
How so? How do you think that? Because I think a lot of people would. I wouldn't disagree with you, but I think a lot of people would.
That's right. Because if a Honda Accord, a new Accord would cost $30,000.
Sure.
And if your paycheck is $75,000 and your net income is probably $55,000 after 15% tax, okay, then percentage of $55,000, if it is, if it is a want, 30% of $55,000 is less than 20,000. So that means you are spending on one product. What about all other wants? On one product, you are spending 50% of your annual income on one product. Then it is a luxury. 50% of your gross and 50% of your net income you are spending on one product. Whereas for Jeff Bezos, it could be $2.5 million Ferrari, but what percentage of income that belongs to?
Yeah, like nothing.
0.01.
Yeah.
So for him, it is a basic want.
Mm-hmm.
So what is a luxury for somebody could be a basic want. What could be a basic want somebody could be a super luxury for somebody else. It depends upon your level of income. It's not based upon, it's the same. You cannot say, oh, how come he can buy that much? How can I cannot buy it? What is your income? What percentage of it?
Right.
That's the basic understanding. Most people don't have that understanding. See, Jeff Bezos would pay $2.5 million cash and get the car.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you cannot afford the $30,000 and you are going for payments. And so that you can make it as a basic need and pay $300 per month.
Sure.
You converted a want into a basic need by making it affordable and you end up paying so much money in interest.
Sure. Yeah. You paid a premium to have that. For sure.
Right. No wonder poor gets poorer, rich gets richer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So understanding those basics. Okay. I don't want to go into the whole class of budgeting. Okay. There are so many things. So make sure and understand that every month is different, because this month you may have to fix a car that is, that water pump is broken.
That's every month. That's every month with what I drive.
Do you know that poor people have more of this expense than the rich people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember once upon a time I used to have two cars, one with the backyard mechanic, one at my home.
Yeah.
That comes and this goes.
Yeah.
I figured out, at the end of the day, I'm spending more than $300 per month in maintenance, whereas I could have bought a brand new car with the same $300 and would have been driving the car worry free.
Oh yeah, I have my car payments budgeted in, and I also have a it broke payment budgeted in, because I'm that certain that something's going to go wrong every month.
Right. So those expenses could be different every month. So you need to budget every month. You cannot say, oh, I know my income, I know my expenses is going to be. No, it's not going to be the same. Every month is going to be different.
Yeah, there's unknowns that you need to account for. Absolutely.
Yeah. There are so many emergency expenses could be different. So your emergency account could be different. Mm-hmm. Your savings could be different. So many things, right? So every month that you make it as a part of a policy to do your zero-based budgeting every month if you really want to succeed.
Yeah.
Some people, they just don't do it. Yeah, I know what it is. They don't do it. And they finally end up saying, I didn't have the money to do this thing. Oh, I didn't have the money to do that one. Well, no planning and don't expect to succeed.
Sure.
Okay. And then coming to the habits, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly habits. Okay. Daily habits is the phase A habits.
Okay.
Okay. Weekly habits are your associations. Monthly habits are zero-based budget and the volume standards.
Okay.
Yearly habits are the setting up the yearly goals and the yearly budget.
Okay.
Those are these habits. Okay. So you stay consistent with those things. You know that on a weekly basis, there are two major associations that we do every week as we get together as a team to learn. Okay, one on Tuesday, one on Friday. Okay, and the different size of teams and the purposes are different. Okay, and those two associations of 2 hours each. One on Tuesday, one on Friday. 2 hours, it happens in the evenings, 8 to 10. Right, and that's where you be part of the team and you learn from the team. And as you grow, you contribute to the team. So others are learning from you. At the beginning, you're learning from the team. Later, you are contributing to the team. Okay.
Right. Understood.
And so make sure monthly you set your goals every month for the next month. What are you trying to achieve next month? Business.
Right.
What personal standards, personal volume standards that you're going to achieve next month, and what retail are you going to achieve next month, and what is your plan for that retail, and what is your network goal, and what is your team goal?
Sure.
And if you don't plan it, whatever you achieve is a goal. You're not having a
if you didn't look at the plan, if you didn't look at the yearly plan and then plan the monthly plan based on the yearly plan, that yearly plan meant nothing, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
goal setting is very important, and you do that the last week of the month. You do the goal setting for your business and for your finances, okay, and for your associations, everything you set the goal, okay. And the daily habits, these are the habits daily, which will make you or break you. Your survival in the business depends on your daily habits. If you want to develop the emotional stability in the business, because we do go through a lot of rough times in the business, okay. It hurts if somebody you talk to, they say no, it hurts, because we are human. But if you really look at it objectively, you should not. Actually, you should celebrate. Thank God, I don't have to spend more time with this guy. Okay? Mm-hmm. But when you're struggling to succeed at the beginning stage of your business, you don't look at it that way. So at my level, I said, oh, thank God he's out. I don't care. If he's in or out, I don't care. Okay. If he's the right guy, I want him in. If they're not the wrong guy, I said, okay, I'm glad he's out. Right? But at the beginning stage of the business, you have an attachment. Oh, even this guy said no to me.
Yeah. You don't see that $750 a person or an hour, right, that we were talking about before.
Yeah, exactly. So unless you put those things in front of you somewhere, it's about, where you celebrate every no, also no matter what, I made my 1,500.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be a good Post-it note to put right there.
Exactly. And you count it. And actually, there's a good way people do it. They put 2 jars,
Okay.
And then, every time you take somebody through the process, okay, and everybody who comes to an MG1, right? I don't count the people before that. MG1, so what I write his name and put the date on it, my first MG1, right? And then when that person goes through the process, and at the end it falls apart, then I'll put it in 1 jar.
Gotcha.
If he says yes jar, and there is a no jar. And I know, how do I know I'm going to be successful? If my no jar is bigger than my yes jar, I am becoming successful. If my yes jar is bigger than my no jar, there is something utterly wrong.
Yeah. Something is deluding yourself. Absolutely.
So people think, oh, how come you say that? If I'm succeeding more, you are saying me that I'm wrong. He said, yeah.
Right, because that's not how the math works.
Against the gravity.
Yeah. Because the math isn't wrong, and you're working against the math.
Right. So you should celebrate the no jar getting bigger and bigger, fuller. Right. Mm-hmm. You should celebrate it. Right. So in this process, we go through emotions. Okay. So for the emotional stability, we need the success stories that we need to listen to, the attitudes that we need to listen to. Right. And for the skill set, for the day-to-day skill set, we need to listen to the talks, the how-to talks. Yeah. And then the books that give us the how-to, mm-hmm. and the books that give us the attitude, the right perspective. We need to read those books, right? So for the mechanics part of it, for the emotional stability, and for the right attitude, we need to listen, read, and use our products daily from our own business. Those are the daily habits. Read, listen, use the products, and stay accountable. What is accountable? I said what? See, accountability is your daily actions are in alignment with your end goal. What you're doing on a daily basis, are you going to get you to the end goal? Then you are doing the right thing. That means you are accountable to your dreams. Are you accountable to your dreams?
Only if you're following the plan.
Do you wish you become successful, or are you taking actions to become successful?
Right. Yeah.
You are accountable.
Yeah. There's a huge difference between, oh, I wish I became successful, and, oh, today I did this to become successful.
Right. Yeah. Right. So accountability is part of integrity.
Yeah.
Personal integrity. So it's not about other people. You are answerable to yourself.
Yeah, you're saying
Your own
I'm
people.
absolutely. I understand that. Makes sense.
So reading, listening, and staying accountable. So staying accountable. Very few people can stay accountable to themselves, but most people stay accountable if they have an accountability partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've done that with my friends working out. I'll owe you $5 if I'm not at the gym.
Right? Because I don't want to hear from that guy, man.
Yeah.
So you pick your senior partner as your accountability partner to say that you are doing the right thing, which is reading and listening and using your products daily. Right?
Yeah.
So you send an accountability message to your partner. I did it. This is what I did. This is what I learned. It's not like, I just listened to this talk. No, that's not accountability message. Accountability message is, you have the transparency, right? This is what I listened to. These are my takeaways, right? Your takeaways should be in such a way, it should make sense to somebody who reads it and they should be able to learn it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The same thing, this is what I read today. It's not how much you read, how many books you read. Did you really get what you need to get from that book?
Yeah. What did you absorb? Sure.
Right? The regular standards for reading and listening is, are you listening at least one audio talk a day? The podcast. Okay. Most podcasts are somewhere between 30 minutes to 60 minutes. Okay. You could be driving and listening to it. You could be in the shower and listening to it, right? But you should get it. Okay, that's one.
Yeah.
And the other one is a book. The standard for reading books is, 10 pages a day is the good standard.
Yeah.
Okay. But nobody's going to tell, if you read six pages, we are not going to say, no, you're not good. But it's your personal standard. The reason we say 10 pages a day, because most books have around 150 to 200 pages in a book. When you read 10 pages a day, in a month, you can read 2 books.
Right. And then you're
read the book twice.
Yeah. And then you're at 24 books a year.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. So books are yours, your friends who slap you silently and, you don't even resist.
Yeah.
Right. Silent teachers. So the right books, which are recommended by the BWW and your senior partner for the phase of your business, right? And then the products. Are you loyal to your business, your products? Are you the first customer for your business? See, most people say they want to find a customer. You expect other people to buy from your business, and if you're not buying from your own business, if you are not the first customer for your business, then the business is not going to work for you. Okay. The product that you are using daily in your kitchen, in your bathroom, in your vitamins cabinet, and your workout products, okay, you name it, your toothpaste, your toothbrush, your shampoos, or whatever, name it. Every day-to-day product that you use it anyway. The product that you use it anyway. Is it from your business or from your competition? Are you putting the money to build your competition asset, or are you building your asset?
Right.
That's a household goal.
Yeah.
Right. So the products that you are trying and using, daily use of your products and reading and listening and sending an accountability message, that's part of the 30-day core run. Read, listen, sending an accountability message to your accountability partner, and using your own products daily. So when you use your products, you can develop a personal testimony for the products. Now you have a story to tell. And don't sell products. Instead, tell your testimony to the people.
Sure. Yeah. Promote them instead of sell them.
Exactly.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
promoters don't sell clubs, but they promoters don't sell clubs, right? They hype them up.
Exactly.
That's why people go to clubs.
Right.
Not because they were sold on something for it.
People don't want to buy.
Right.
Basically, people want to buy, but they don't want to be sold.
Yeah.
Okay. And reading and listen is building you up from inside out.
Yeah.
This is your personal development. And when you apply this, the learnings become concrete. You can be reading and listening, but if you're not taking action, it is simply a knowledge. It will never convert into a wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shallow, right? So you read and listen as this is a daily habit. Okay. Then attending these associations, your weekly habit, and then monthly and yearly, right? And you do those things. That is a solid phase B. Okay. Then once you do these things, then your phase C starts. This is your networking aspect of it.
Okay.
So everything has, a previous step as a bearing on the current step.
And is that 120 days or is that 90 days?
Well, usually in 30-day core run is nice, 30 days.
Right.
Okay. 90-day core run is, as soon as you, start following these volume standards phase B, that is your first thing. Within these 30 days, you should get to the phase B.
Sure.
Right. There's a phase A is done on the first day that you get started, your phase A is done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then your 30-day core run starts. By the end of the 30-day core run, you should become a solid phase B. Right. Then the 90-day core run starts. 9-day core run is, networking aspect of it.
Right. Okay.
The first,
Understood.
the knowledge part, then the practice part, then the actual execution part.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. So 90-day core run, while you are following your phase B habits, you learn to share your story at least once a day. That means this networking. Okay. And then you communicate with the business coach 2 to 3 times a week. Because why? You don't want to blindly keep doing and failing. You want to have a huddle with your coach. Huddle, play, huddle. So before you play, huddle, and then you go play, and then you come back and huddle.
Right. Yeah, it's continuous. Right. You don't have one meeting at the beginning of the game and say, okay, we're running this.
Yeah. So your action. So number one, your phase B, the standards, and then you start exposing this business to others. How do you do that? You don't go and ask, hey, would you like to join my business? Oh, no. Instead, you share your testimony about something that you found that can make a difference, right? But we'll talk to you about how to do that, okay? And then you staying in touch with your coach 2 to 3 times a week. Okay? That's the 90-day core run.
Got it.
Okay, so that your failures are minimized and you are being adjusted along the way. So it takes about 90 days for most people who are consistently doing the work to become comfortable with the networking aspect of it. Okay. Once they become comfortable, get the basic understanding of it, now the next goal is phase C is work ethic. Now you have the skill, now you go into the work ethic. So work ethic is not the issue in the 90-day core run. How many people did you share your business plan with? I don't care. Your whole goal is, your work ethic in 90-day core run is, are you practicing sharing your story? And where did you fail? What was the response? How did you handle it? Let me tell you how to handle it next time. So you're not disappointed. You are just practicing. You're a practitioner.
Right.
Try, fail, adjust. That's what you're going through. And at the end, you become successful. By the 90 days, you become very comfortable getting people to the MG level. Okay. These conversations, there is something called 5 levels of conversation. Okay. You master those 5 levels of conversation in these 90 days.
Okay.
Then you get to the MG level. Then at this point in time, your work ethic is, you want a goal is 2 to 3 MG1s per week.
Yeah.
Then your success rate may not be 2 new partners on a monthly basis, even though you do 2 to 3 per week. Because your efficiency levels is low at the beginning, right? It picks up. along the way. And then probably phase C would take somewhere around another 90 days for you to get to this level of 2 new partners on a monthly basis. So in a way, 90 plus 90, 180 plus 30, 210.
Okay, 210 days. Got it.
Which is 6 to 7 months.
Mm-hmm. To get to the networking level.
Right. Now, or in the worst case, 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, if you really mastered it in those 9 months, probably by the time you have at least some 3-4 legs going on, and so you have a team following up and you have some 5, 6, 7 people in your team, then, you depend on your own skill set rather than my availability for you. And you can do your business faster. A year from that point onwards, you can reach the Q12 platinum level.
Yeah.
Or worst case, 2 years.
Okay.
Okay. But generally people who, reach the phase C level, they have the complete confidence in themselves. They know that the business is in their control. They know exactly how it works, what to do, what not to do, and everything. They're just putting the pedal to the metal and making it happen. And the people from this phase C level, anywhere between, 9 months to a year, they'll make it happen, the Q12.
Yeah.
That's why I would say on average, it takes about a year and a half from the time that you get started to be a Q12.
Okay.
But if you do it right, Q12, you could be an emerald in the next 1 year. So it doesn't have to be 3 to 4 years. In 2 years, you could be an emerald.
Sure.
And a diamond could be in 3 years.
Yeah.
Or 2 to 3 years, depending on how well you do Q12. If you don't cut corners in going Q12, you patiently work on yourself, developing your inner core. See, people always want to have, I want to have this muscle, this muscle. I said, dude, build your core. Everything else is easy.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to show off to the girls, this and that.
Yeah, they want the surface of the core. They want the abs. They don't want the tree trunk.
Right. So if you are intelligent enough and build your core, the rest of it is very easy.
Yeah.
That's what the 4 phases are. Make sense now?
Yes.
Awesome. Any questions?
Not really. That was pretty in depth. Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, you want to put it back?
No, you're good. I'm looking at it on
Okay.
my second screen. Yeah, I mean, we went through everything on it. So yeah. No, it does make sense. Yeah, I don't really have any other questions.
Okay, excellent. Okay. So now let me share with you, the partnership response. You already know what the partnership responsibilities are, but I just want to put you in a document.
Sure.
I'll share that with you on the WhatsApp, and then we'll discuss that next time so that you go through it, make sense, and so you have your right questions, and so that we'll discuss your questions.
Okay.
Rather than me explaining. I know it's already an hour and 45 minutes we are there here now. I don't want to drag it.
Sure.
That's one thing. So I'm going to share some more audio talks. So it looks like you like the mechanics more than the stories.
I mean, I do like the stories. I just don't find they're definitely not the same. However, they're the same function, right? To inspire or to try to get someone to work harder. Whereas I'm very much like, okay, cool, I'm good to go. Where's the step I need to take? So I'm very analytical like that. So the how-tos are for sure more helpful than the inspiration.
Yeah. No, generally, psychologically, 98% of our success, is attitude, and 2% is mechanics.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay? But we get hung up with the mechanics part because if I know this, then rest of it, I'll figure it out,
Hmm.
So, but in order for you to master the 2%, don't neglect the 98%.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because we become the victim of our own mindset.
Hmm.
Okay?
That's fair.
And the other one is the importance of these stories is the relatability. Okay. And the type of people that you work with. See, you may be a software engineer, but you may be working with somebody in the fitness industry, or somebody who is in the medical industry, or could be in the nursing, or could be a guy who is a janitor. Ambitious people are there. It doesn't matter where they are, right?
Right.
But their struggles are different. You can relate to another IT guy or another Air Force guy, but you may not relate to the janitor. Okay. In order to understand, if you can understand their side of the life, then when you're talking to them, you are more empathetic to them. Okay. And you speak their language. Okay. So we need to develop that. Otherwise, I'm talking only to the IT guys.
Right.
And your business will not be that big. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that relates back to what I was saying. Do you find more success with the IT guys? No, you need to find success with every pool, but you need to know how to communicate to that specific pool as well. Yeah.
Right. For that, these success stories coming from different backgrounds would open up a whole new world. I said, oh my goodness, I never thought about this. Okay. If you really take it as an education, and if you listen to it intently, trying to make sense out of it, don't look at it as a story. Look at it as psychology through a story.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. As an instructional on this person, on this type. Okay.
Right.
Understood. That makes sense.
So it is a mechanics too.
Yeah, it is. It's just packaged differently.
Right.
Yeah. It's a parable, right?
Exactly.
Instead of an engineering diagram.
Exactly. Yeah. So mostly, it's a kind of a big picture.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the industry, the guidance is, Greg Duncan says this. If you're listening to an audio every day, then make sure you're listening to at least 5 in a week, because some of them you might go back and re-listen.
Oh, sure.
No, that's why he says 5 audios a week, 5 podcasts a week.
Now, can I access the ones that you've sent me already?
No,
I thought they expired.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll send you the new ones. Out of those 5 audios, Greg Duncan's suggestion is the ratio of type of, there are 3 types of podcasts. One is success stories. Another one is attitude, how to think, right? And the third one is mechanics.
Yeah.
Mechanics, attitude, and success stories, motivation. You can call it whatever you call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said the ratio should be 1 mechanics, 2 or 3 success stories, or 1 or 2 attitudes.
Really? Okay. I thought attitudes would be a lot higher than that, but
yeah, that is the ratio at which you talk. Probably sometimes, at the beginning, you might want to listen to a little bit more mechanics, because, you have that quest to know more.
Yeah. You just want to know, okay, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
I know I'm going to, but how? Yeah.
Right. Okay. But that is a general guideline.
Sure.
But again, it's a guideline. Okay. But every individual is a little different, and it changes over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good. So next thing. By the way, before I forget, we're having a fun holiday party this Saturday online.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be for about an hour. We have some games, music, dance, and everything. So you are welcome to join.
Appreciate that.
Evening, 5 p.m., 5 to 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. I probably won't be able to make it then. This
Okay.
Saturday, I've got a thing with the family.
Okay.
But thanks I do appreciate the invite, though. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Okay. So when can we get together for our next meeting?
Ooh, let's do, hold on. 7, so. Would you be good to do Monday 3 to 5?
Show me. Let me check.
Yeah, so Monday the 21st is the date.
What time did you say?
3 to 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Daniel,
great.
is that okay?
Yep, works for me, sir.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to send you the audio talks for you to listen to, and also I'm going to send you a document on partnership responsibilities.
Okay.
And did I give you this blog, amwayconnections.com?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Did you go through?
Yeah, I've got it. I went through it.
Yeah, maybe want to find out what you learned from it and your takes from it. Okay. So maybe go through it one more time.
Oh, now, or would you want to talk about it next
not
time?
necessarily right now. We're almost 2 hours right now. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We can talk about it next time for sure.
yeah. Okay, that's what we're going to do.
Right.
Good?
I will see you Monday. Have a good weekend, sir.
Awesome. Okay.
See you, Daniel.
Cheers.